Welcome to Life Plus Plus, where we aim to add more value to life by sharing knowledge, life lessons, and combined experiences from our friends, colleagues, and associates. In each episode, we'll be looking to talk about real life issues and things that are important to you. So if there's anything you want us to discuss, leave them in the comment section below or email us at lifepluspluss@thethrowdown.com. Throwdown is THATHROWDOWN. This episode is brought to you by Kososhi Clothing. Welcome to episode 8. I am Lambo the Virus. And with me today, Mathematical Shage, aka the Polymath, the Word Bender. I take your shine, lock it like a bad boy doing time, tap the fluid off your spine and serve it like palm wine. Mode 9. What's good, bro?
Yes, man. I'm great. 100%. So happy to be here, talk about real life issues, Life Plus Plus.
Word.
And I have to take my Life Plus Plus juice first. Get me ready. Get me ready to throw down.
Word, bro. Word, bro.
That's how it is.
Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Basically, rhyming and reasoning, rhyme and reason. So let's shoot.
Yeah, shoot, man. Your new album, Esoteric Mellow.
Yeah.
How is that doing? Explain to us, like, what was the motive behind it?
Okay, yeah, we started, I actually started Esoteric Mellow in 2012. A friend of mine from Berlin, DJ Grizzly, he sent me about 40 beats from a producer called Figo Brazovic.
Wow.
And I chose, I think, 15 that I liked, and I recorded in 2 weeks. But I even went
You recorded?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Could be less than 2 weeks. But I was motivated because the beats were really good. So in 2014, you know, I was always calling, like, what's happening to the project? So in 2014, I flew from Nigeria to Berlin to just, you know, get it done, you know, mix everything. So when I got there, the guy was saying, some of the beats, I've used them before, blah, blah, blah. So what he did was that he made some new beats and everything. So I was there for a couple of the sessions. Then he didn't finish it because he had to go to Belgium, I think. Yeah. So he told me, look, that was in February 2014. And he was like, dude, by the end of the month, I'll do it for you. Just go back to Nigeria. No problem. I'll just do it for you.
Yeah.
So I went back 2014, past 2015, past 2016. I was just calling it, what's up, 2017. And I got tired and I just hit Tekzilla up when Tekzilla came to London. We met in Ray's studio in Watford, and I played some of the tracks because me and Tech were supposed to do something else. He had other beats for me. Yeah. So I played some of the tracks, and he was like, what are you doing with this? And I said, I did it with one producer, but I don't think he's on it. So, and I've been calling him. When I send him messages, he doesn't reply. So I was like, Tech, can you take over? So in less than a month, Tech finished everything.
Wow.
But we had to take a break so that he put out he had another project he was working with, some other rapper.
Okay.
So he put that out, and some other guys that his artist Flo. Yeah. He put her stuff out too. Then we went back to Esoteric Mellow. The reason why I called it Esoteric Mellow was because the original beats, they were so mellow. They just gave you that, you know, that relaxed feeling that just makes you just like, it's esoteric only for the select few. Yeah. And also it's mellow. Yeah. So Tech, he did a good job, you know, on some of the track. I even like some of Tech's beats better than the original, even though you always have that attachment to the original.
To the initial,
Yeah, but Tech's beats kind of like, kind of erased that feeling, and then I had a bad experience with the dude. So I just ran with what Tech did, and we put it out, and it did really well.
Yeah,
we shot a video.
It did.
Shout out to D Black.
Shout out to D Black, man.
Yeah, shout out D Black. D Black came through. We did the video. Yeah. Tech was around, so we just scheduled it. We shot it 2 times because the first time, I think we were supposed to use a drone. Yeah. And I think he forgot the battery. I think. So it was even better because guess what? The lyrics weren't really in my head that day. And then also the speakers that I brought was just these little cheap speakers, and I couldn't really hear myself. So I went and I bought the big mega boom, and I was like, let's go. So we did the video, and it came out good.
Nice, man. Rhyme and reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of the theme for today. Yeah. What is it? Is there a method to you writing your raps? Do you have to be in a certain mood to write your raps, or is it just one of those ones that has become robotic where you just pick up and it's automatic. You just start to write, and is there a pattern to your rhyming?
I've been doing this for more than 20 years. So over the years, I've had different styles. You know, before, when I used to rap very fast,
Yeah.
around that time, I wasn't really concentrating on writing the lyrics properly. I would just scribble something and then rap it fast. I concentrated more on the flow until my Swap Root brothers told me that, you know what, you're a dope MC. Why don't you just slow down a little? I used to think that anybody who rhymed slowly was whack. That's what I used to feel. So, you know, over the years, I have my own style now. Like, if I don't feel like writing a rhyme, I won't write it.
Yeah.
That is why some people will hit me up. Let's do a track. Let's go to the studio and write. But yes, I know people go to the studio and just write on the spot.
Yeah.
I can do that, but to get the best out of me, and everything I do, like when you record a track, it's there forever.
Yeah.
You can't go back and say, hey, let me
change that.
let me change it when the track is already out. It's
Yeah,
online.
yeah, of course.
Already, thousands of people have it. So you have to put your best. Like if you're not going to do it well, just don't do it.
Yeah.
So over the years, what I do is if I feel like writing a rhyme, I write. If I don't feel like it's in me 100%, I don't write. So like before, I used to force myself. And if you force yourself, you have a whole bunch of rhymes that are like, and then when you just go back to it, you're like, man, did I write this rubbish? End up changing it.
Yeah.
That is why if you see my old rhymes, I don't know, there's been videos of my old rhymes on YouTube. You see there's a lot of cancellations all over the place because I probably wrote it fast. Then the next day I went back to it. I was like, man, this is crap. I canceled this.
Yeah.
Thank God that we got mobile phones now and you can actually change it. So what I do is I make sure I'm inspired before I write. If I'm not inspired, I don't write.
Yeah. That is something that is missing now because there's no substance to people's raps nowadays. The new genre, or should we call it genre, called mumble rap, which a lot of people are starting to subscribe to.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible thing, in my opinion, obviously. So anyone, you guys are free to disagree with me.
I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence because I feel it's a style. Okay,
Yeah.
what is mumble rap? Mumble rap is when you're mumbling and you're not saying anything.
Yep.
That is real mumble rap. But what most purists class under mumble rap is, I got all the Jews. Jews. I rode in the car. Car.
Yeah.
He's actually saying he's got Jews. He rides in a car.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of girls. Now, to me personally, I don't call that mumble rap.
Yeah.
I just call that rubbish rapping. You know, it's not mumbling because he's actually saying words, but he's clearly not good.
Yeah.
I could take a 55-year-old man out of his office and say, hey, sir, come over here. Let's get in the studio. Let's do something. And trust me, after 3 hours, we're going to come up with a song better than one of these guys, the contentless rap.
Yeah.
So there's mumble rap. There are guys that actually mumble because of the drugs they take.
Yeah.
Now, if you take promethazine, lean, dirty Sprite, you know, and then you smoke whatever on top of it, what does it make you?
Slow.
It makes you slow.
Yeah.
It makes you drowsy. It makes you just, you know, you're just suspended animation. You're just in between and, you know, in two worlds.
Yeah.
So when they put on the mic and you're just feeling the beat and then boom, 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 boom. I got it better. It's so easy to make a song now. I was telling a friend of mine the other day that if I was to make a mumble rap album or I was a mumble rap ghostwriter, I'll be the richest guy on earth because I could record literally 50 songs a day doing that because every time I switch on the mic, I have a song.
Yeah.
Every time I switch on it, boom, one song in 5 minutes. Now imagine 5 minutes, every 1 hour, how many songs will you have? It's crazy because contentless, but you see these kids nowadays we're just walking the fine line. Now they look at us older guys, the purists, the guys that actually use words and then they say, I beg, that's old school and everything. And if you say anything about their genre of rap, they call you a hater. They say, because you're not rich, you're hating. And then some people who are educated But you see, all they do is follow the crowd because it's the doctrine of the 5%ers.
Yes.
Clarence 13X. That's a spin-off from the Malcolm X, one of his guys, Clarence 13X. They started the 5%ers, and they say that
the 5% nation.
Yeah, 5%ers are the true guys. Let's just liken it to the guys that are really doing music that has content, like YBN Cordair. Like he's young, but he can rap.
Yeah.
5%er. Now we have the 10%ers. The 10%ers might be record label execs, a white 55-year-old Jewish guy. I'm not trying to be, but a white 55-year-old. It could be a black guy too, but just somebody who's in it just for the money.
Like a Leo.
Yeah, there you go. He could just call the rapper and say, listen, I want you to talk about your gun. Have you been to prison? No. Okay, you're going to hold a gun in New York. They're going to arrest you, but you're going to get off on a plea deal. And then just to create that persona, that gangster persona, they'll push the artist to do something. Why do you think artists get arrested before they release an album? It's just to create. They believe that once you just create that buzz, the buzz now is not the music. The buzz is getting these young guys to believe that you are what you're not. Example, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
He later came out and said he wasn't a blood. But in his video, Gomo, he was waving...
red bandana.
He was going hard for them. So the 10%ers are those guys that control the industry. They sway it. There was a time in the 90s where rappers were beginning to read, and that was a dangerous time for the 10%ers. They got really shook because rappers were reading. They knew about that. They had knowledge of self. And now they had the beats and the kentes and the African hats, and they were intelligent. The time Money Love, De La Soul, Queen Latifah, Tribe Called Quest, that era. And if you listen to Wu-Tang's lyrics carefully, like when Wu-Tang came out, I was really confused because I like Chinese movies and I listened to them, and yes, they want some gangster, sometimes saying something gangster.
Yeah,
but
some scientific.
They had some scientific bars, it was more of the 5%er doctrine, Even Rakim Allah, all these guys, they were saying things.
Yeah.
And the 10%ers got scared, so they swayed it. The 10%ers, they put that fuel on the gangster rap. Now, there are different types of gangster rap. There's gangster rap that you can actually listen to and be like, oh, this guy's kind of clever, or this is interesting, like M.O.P., like Sean Price, rest in peace. Now, Boot Camp Click. Boot Camp Click were not necessarily gangster, but they had some gangster elements, like Smith & Wesson, one of my favorite groups of all time. Yeah. When I listened to that, Smith & Wesson, it was like, they're rhyming and they're saying stuff, street tales. Stuff that Nas does.
Yes.
Now, the 10%ers are winning now because the other guys are the 85%ers. Now, the 85%ers are easily swayed. Like the normal guy on the street that just wants to bump his head to anything that he feels is hot. Like if they see Puff Daddy or someone doing, oh, this is hot, then he's not going to question Puff Daddy. He's going to go, oh, Puff Daddy likes it, so I should like it.
Yeah.
I've been performing in some shows, right? And they say, ladies and gentlemen, introducing one of the best lyricists, blah, 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 Mode 9. And I get on stage and I start rapping. The first track I do is, if you're ready for this, now put your hands up. Then I start to spit, ribby both, red me like a Rasta front line. And I'm rapping. So when I jumped on stage and I did that, there was a portion of boys in that. It was a school, just one row in front. Now these guys were core fans of Mode 9.
Is this Nigeria or Germany?
This was in Nigeria.
Okay.
In Germany, once they hear the beat and they feel it.
Yeah,
they don't need anybody to put a battery in their back.
No, you don't. Yeah.
This was in Nigeria. Now, when those boys, I think those boys were like the it crowd in that school. So when those boys were going, whoa, there was a guy in the crowd. Like, I'm looking directly into the crowd. Like, and I saw that when I jumped on stage, this guy was clearly not interested. But when he did this.
Oh, those guys, they feel
I was like, oh my God, these are the it crowd. Wow. And they're feeling this guy. So automatically, I have to feel it. He got a battery put in his back. So now, when people ask me, what are the problems of hip-hop?
Yeah.
Not only in Nigeria, in the world,
yeah.
First of all, the generation that we're in, respect, like when we started this, we built our foundation on respect. I'll never go up to a rapper that was there before me and try to disrespect him.
Yeah.
And there was no way I could do that because we didn't have social media where the link between the consumer, the fan, to the artist has been bridged.
Yeah.
He can
Some
just
virtual
I could
connection.
just tweet at a rapper and say, "Hey, you're whack." And maybe I get him in his feelings and
Yeah.
he's having a bad day that day. He could reply me. And guess what happens when he replies me? A guy that has 5 million followers replies me that I have, let's say, 500 followers. He replies me and I insult him again. And then all of a sudden, we're
His
going back and
followers,
forth.
Yeah, yeah. And
Some of his followers, some of his followers
Wow.
will start following me.
Yeah.
Then I do a live video and I start insulting him on live. And then he gets more heated and he requests to go live with me. I take another 5,000 followers from him. And all of a sudden, do you know what that is defined as in this era?
Yeah.
Clout chasing. And we have a lot of clout chasers that feel that the only way for them to blow
Yeah.
is by dissing and trying to bring down somebody, trying to criticize somebody so that like, oh, this guy is kind of fragile.
Yeah.
If I criticize him, he's going to reply.
Yeah.
And when he replies, I take some of his followers. But guess what? You're going to take some of his followers. But after that, what happens? Unless you make it your duty to start disrespecting every single artist out there, but not every single artist will reply you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Burna Boy. He was being interviewed the other day, and they asked him, what's social media like and everything? And he just looked at the guy. I think it was Power 106 or something, one of these.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not on social media. I don't even handle my...
Which is a rarity. It's a rarity.
He says he's not. So for him, he was on social media at one point in time, but he probably knows what happened. Somebody, because he's kind of hot-tempered. It happened to Nato C after the cypher. Some fans, it has happened to me numerous times where fans, and then you're human, like we artists, we're human beings. So people just say, oh, you're the bigger guy. Why don't you just ignore them? Sometimes it's really hard. Nobody knows what we are going through.
Yeah,
We're going
no
through
one does.
normal people issues.
Of course.
We have
You're human
family
beings.
pressures,
Yeah.
pressure from the family and difference in work and everything.
Yeah.
We're human beings. So you might just get me at a weak time.
Yeah.
Like I might just be approaching my elastic limit and then I just snap
Yeah.
and reply to the person. Then before I can say, oh my God, I need to take that back. Boom, it's all over the place.
It's crazy because people expect you to have this neutral persona.
Yes.
Where you have, it's more or less like you're stoical.
Stoic,
So as in
Stoicism, like the Greek, like the Spartans.
Yeah.
They expect you to be a Spartan.
How?
I got feelings too. Like it'll get to a stage where fans, like for me, when fans stop me to say, hey Mo, let's snap a picture. I always, I made it my point of duty. I was telling some of the younger artists in Nigeria one time, I was like, dude, man, try and take pictures with your fans, man. You don't know how long these guys have been following your music. You don't know their relation. Like, you probably might have touched lives with your lyrics. And these guys meet you for the first time. Try to be nice to them. Try to take a picture with them. But on the flip side, some fans, like, for example, I was at a show. I needed to use the toilet. And the guy's like, Modan, you're up now. So I imagine being pressed and performing. I performed pressed, so I was doing everything, So when I finished, I just went backstage and I was going straight to the toilet. And one guy and a few people, like let's say 4 of them, they just said, Modan, can we snap a pic? And look, I was almost reaching pressure bust pipes. I was about to. So I just told the guy, hold up a sec, let me just go to the toilet, I'll be back. So I rushed to the toilet, do my thing, then I come back, and guess what the guy now says? Oh, I beg you, Seth, you do the form, I beg, we no snap again, we no snap, I beg.
Imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I just felt a certain way because actually, I felt a certain way. I was like, wow, sometimes you can't please everybody. I've got to a situation where some fans came, Modan, where your fans? I bought all your CDs. Modan, give me some money now. Give me something now. Give us money now. You. And I looked at these guys. How much did they sell our CD? 150 naira. These guys probably want me to give them 10,000 naira. They forget that. And I don't really blame them because there's some artists going around throwing money up in the air. I've had situations where people at radio stations just say, Mode, man, you're my guy, but let me just level with you, man. Listen, so-and-so just came to the station, man, and he dropped 300 bags, man. He just brought drinks. Where's your Christmas hamper, man? Mode, man. Come on, man. We can't be doing this year after year now.
Can you imagine?
So I just noticed that.
And those sort of people who claim that they're your friends.
Yeah, of course. Like we have when you're doing good, everybody's your friend. Everybody can remember a certain period. Like someone just come, Mood 9, do you remember me? It probably was 5 years ago for 4 minutes after a show. When you're tired and you just want to go and sleep, and there are a bunch of people, like 20 people talking at once, and you're just nodding your head and
then,
pretending to, pretend. And then 5 years later, one of those 20 people comes to me and he goes, Mood 9, and he stays and he looks you dead in the eye and he goes, and he expects you to remember. He goes, do you remember me? And he's probably wearing a hat. The way you just look at him like confused, he just takes off his hat. How about now? So it just happens that sometimes the artist is not always wrong, but as an artist, you just have to, because everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
You just have to control your emotions.
Yeah.
I went to the toilet one day. I was in a club with Kevin Luciano, my former question mark. Shout out to Kevin Luciano. That's one of the CEOs. You know why I respect Kevin?
Yeah.
Before I recorded the album that had Cry, Blue Russell,
Yeah.
he came to me and he said, because everybody know that Kevin is a control freak. He came to me and he said, Mood 9, I trust you. Please just give me an album I can sell. And he never entered the studio. The office is here. The studio is next door. He never entered. He only came into the studio when we said, hey, Kevin, man, check this song out. It was when we finished Cry. We called him in and he came and he was like, oh my God, this is the hit. You understand?
Wow.
So people, like, I digressed, I know.
But go ahead.
Yes. People like that, you know, they respected me, even though a lot of people outside were like, oh, Kevin is a bad. Kevin is gangster. Yes, he can be gangster, but guess what? He has a heart. He has feelings. I was opportunity to stay in his place with him while I was recording my album, so I know him very well. Yes, he has some dark sides, but he has a good side too.
Yeah. Everyone has dark sides.
And he has helped a lot of people.
Yeah. How many awards, sorry to cut you, how many awards did Cry get? Because I remember it smashed a lot of records then.
Yes. Cry won.
Cora, I know you
won.
No,
not Cora. It was a Channel music video. It was 3 in one night. I don't know if anybody has equaled that.
Wow.
For rappers, I don't even know if anybody, period, has done that. But 3 in one night, and that was the height. That was the height. I was like, imagine going from taking the Molue to, what's this, Mopo 20 to see Jonah the Monarch.
Jonah is in America now.
Yes, he's in America. Yeah. Taking the Molue from Alaka Estate, just in front of Alaka Estate, to going to South Africa and winning 3 awards. Like, it was like a dream.
Wow.
Like, I woke up, I remember waking up in the morning, I was like, I saw Rothman. I was like, Rothman,
that's crazy.
What happened yesterday? Did we win?
That's crazy.
He just said, but now, what did they do you? Don't be 3 hours. Pinch me.
Wow.
My girl pinched my hip to see if I still exist. I think not. I just remember
that's
that white girl.
Yeah.
I just remember that. I was like, man, pinch me, man. It was like, that was one of the best days of my life as an artist. One of the, you know. Of course, there's the Hip Hop World Awards, you know, winning Hip Hop World Awards numerous times, best lyricist and everything. Yeah, and also...
You won that one how many times?
It should be about 6 or 7 times. 7 times. I think it was like 7.
7 times?
Yeah, thereabout. Shout out to the other guy. That doesn't mean that the other guys are not good.
No, obviously not.
And a lot of people kind of like, they said, Mood 9, you only won because of your relationship with Ayo and Imasham. Yes, I did go to the same school with Ayo and Imasham, but for anybody who knows Ayo and Imasham, it doesn't matter whether you're his friend or not. Like, he doesn't even, there's actually a committee. There's a committee that picked the winners. So he doesn't even have a say.
Yeah.
So all those people that were just saying that, they were just being salty, you know. And I've got several occasions where some certain artists were saying stuff about me. The Tribune called me one morning and they said, Mode 9, so, I don't want to mention the guy's name. He said, so said that you only won that award because you and this guy know each other. What do you have to say? And I just said, okay, I'm not going to say anything negative about the individual because I know him and I felt that he was in his feelings. But I'm going to say this one thing. Yes, he was a rapper. I'm going to say this one thing. Can you please write our lyrics out and compare? I mean, that's what you have to do.
What does this rapper's name start with?
L.
L.
L of something. Don't worry about that. Don't think. I'm not trying to, because me and the guy are really cool.
Okay,
you understand?
okay.
I'm really cool with the guy.
Yeah.
And
You tell me off air.
I'll tell you off air. He probably didn't say that because you know what? I think I was saying to the Tribune guy, right? The guy that called me, I was like, he didn't say that. I don't think he said that. I was with him a couple of weeks ago. No, he didn't say that. I don't think he would say that. And the guy was like, no, he said so. He said, can you provide proof, evidence of him saying it, like recording of him? Because obviously you record all your calls.
Yeah.
So can you send me what he said? And then the guy was like, no, but he said so. So then there again, we have journalists. That's why it got to a stage that I stopped. I tried to minimize, like if you say stop, like, oh no, I don't do newspaper interviews. If you say that, if you come out and say that, that's like career suicide. That's like shooting yourself in the foot. But the best way to do it is just avoid it when you can. Because do you know what? Everybody, like cloud chasing has been around for a long time.
For a long time.
Only that.
A long time.
They just
The
didn't
same
call
thing
it.
happened to Sultan.
Yeah.
During that era that you're talking about, where these journalists, they interviewed Sultan. So they asked him about something around gay issues. Yeah. Then he said, well, I don't know, I'm not gay, so you can't really ask me these sort of things. When they plastered it on newspaper, I wrote, I'm not gay, South Sultan.
You see, I was going to what they interviewed me, right? They said, come for an interview, blah, blah, blah. So we did a long interview. It was really long. And they talked about several serious issues. Then the woman just said, on a lighter side, Mode 9, what type of ladies do you like? And I was already tired after the long 35-minute interview. And I was like, yeah, I like ladies with, big butts. I was just joking, I was just joking.
Yeah.
And then after saying that, I just said, no, actually I like intelligent, blah, blah. I just told her what. Do you know what the headline was? I like ladies with big butts, Mode 9. And it was one of the biggest newspapers in Nigeria. One of the most read.
Wow.
Like, I was just sleeping at home, and all of a sudden my phone just started blowing up. I was like, oh my God, what has happened now? I said, what kind of rubbish is this? I bought the paper, I ran out, bought the paper, read the interview, and all the stuff that I said that was positive, out.
Wow.
It was just, it made me, the newspaper article made me look like a unserious hater that's just doing, that's just being lyrical because he wants to be lyrical and he doesn't believe in what he's doing. It just made me look unserious. And just like I had this interview with MTV once. Yes, I'm going to say MTV, y'all can't do nothing to me now. Y'all can't get me. So I had this interview with MTV some years ago. It was one of their VJs, one young chick that she did this VJ competition and she won it.
Okay.
So obviously she doesn't really know too much. So she was interviewing me and we're having a good interview. There were people, Hamid from South Africa, all these guys, MTV South Africa were around and everything. This was a new girl to MTV. She did this VJ search for MTV. Do you remember Special Ed?
Yeah, of course.
The big guy that, the guy that hypes D'banj. Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Is
I don't know
D'banj or he's with
D'banj, David.
Oh, yeah,
he was with
but now
D'banj
he's-
first.
yeah.
I used to see him at shows in Abuja. So I knew him. So I remember going to the Galleria, Silverberg Galleria, and they were doing this MTV VJ search. So I saw him, a couple of other people, and that girl. I never knew the girl from nowhere, but I thought that Special Ed got this because he has charisma, everything. Like, he was the man for it, for real. Like, that was your guy. But I don't know, somehow, some way, the girl won it. And we're doing this interview. MTV guys came all the way from South Africa. Since she was the resident Nigerian VJ, she was doing the interviews. So Hamid, what's that? Something Donalisa, just Yolisa, one of the chicks, she was there too. And then another one that I know, Debbie, I think. And then Mary, she's also Nigerian. She was taking care of logistics, but a very nice young lady.
Yeah.
So this other VJ, the girl that won, right? She started asking questions like, so Mode9, you know you're a controversial rapper and you like trouble and you like looking for trouble. But you could just hear a pin drop. I was just looking in front of that. I could.
Where was this? Where was this?
This was in Lagos. It was in a studio in Ikoyi, I think. It was just like a rented spot for them to do all their MTV interviews so that they can show them on MTV Base.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know how to answer that. I just looked at her. What do you mean by that? He said, you know, you're the one that always looking for trouble, dissing rappers. I said, listen, young lady. I had to add that young lady there to just put her in her place. I have never gone out of my way. The certain rapper that you're talking about, I just don't want to mention the guy's name. I said, the rapper that you're talking about, he's the one that did a diss song that got prominence from doing diss tracks, dissing people who he doesn't even know, have never offended him. They have never directly done anything to him. Like, he's the one that did that. And he called me to come and be in the video, and I refused. On the basis, I didn't know these guys. Okay, yeah, you said the guys are whack. But the thing is, if you are a dope MC and you see the guys, the whack guys, are getting all the love, just do yours and put your music out. Let the people decide. You don't try and drag people down directly. You can say it indirectly in your rhymes. Like normally, we are all rappers. We always say the next rapper is whack. It's a given. Like,
it's a
if you're a rapper,
of the
it's
egos,
battle rap. You're like, blah, blah, blah. My rap is this. My rap is that. The other rappers are whack. Yeah, you're allowed to say that. As long as you know you're not whack, the person isn't talking to you. But when you directly call people out who have never offended you, that are more prominent in the game than you, that is clout chasing. So I told her, listen, I never did that. I only defended mine. If somebody sends for me, comes at me, tries to drag my name down, I would defend myself. And when I defend myself, it'll look like I'm the bully. So that's what happened. It looked like I was the one bullying the guy because I dropped a diss track. And the guy basically did not reply.
So I know the diss track you're talking about. Are you saying yours was a response to his?
Yeah, okay, what happened was, let's just mention the name of the rapper. It doesn't matter. It was a long time ago.
And he's a friend of mine as well. So.
I don't have any problem with Rugged Man, you understand? Right, that we even did the show together in Jos in 2016. We sat, do you know what? The guys that did the show, maybe they were expecting something, so they said,
put them together.
Put them together. They now started asking me when we got to Jos. They said, can you sit down in the same cars, Rugged Man? I was just laughing, So we're in the backseat, both of us, and we were gisting, and they were like, I could see them looking like,
disappointment. They're disappointed.
They wanted something to happen. So what happened was, you know, a lot of hearsay. You know, I blame it on friends, people you hang out with. There was a lot of me and Rugged Man were very good friends. Like, people don't even know that.
And Rugged is a cool guy. He's cool.
We're very, very good friends. So when I left Abuja to Lagos, I was just hearing people talk. A lot of guys in Surulere, they said, this guy did this guy said it. But I would never believe them because I know that people talk. Then all of a sudden, the guy now blew up. And he was like insisting everybody should rap in Pidgin. But I feel that you just put your best foot forward. If you don't really know how to rap, you know how to rap in English, rap in English. I don't care what you're rapping in, as long as you're not rapping on my head. You know, you're not standing on my head rapping. You can do whatever you want to do. There's no laws, there's no rules. So he was advocating for people to rap mother tongue, this, that. So everywhere I go, there was always pressure on me, you know, people trying to like, you know, bring me down. People like saying, this guy said this guy. A friend of mine was at a show in Port Harcourt and he put the phone near the speaker. Shout out to Sinister Minister. He put the phone near the speaker where this guy was making his speech before he rapped. And it wasn't so nice, you know. But still, I still just ignored it. But every now and then, I'll just jab it.
Did he mention your name in that?
No,
in
he didn't mention it. That's why I did not reply.
Okay.
You know, I would just jab a little. But not mentioning names because I'm the king of that. You know, after Jay-Z and me,
subs, king of subs.
I just mentioned something slick.
Yeah.
So, what happened was, there was a song that was released, and everybody said that song was about Mode 9. And I was like, wow. But I ignored it though. So I was now doing this track called with Banky W. Now, Banky W came to my house and gave me a beat that had a chorus. Like, to tell you the truth, it was the track Talking to You.
I know that track.
Talking to You. I'm not gonna lie. At that point in time, I was a DJ Premier kind of guy. Like when I heard it, I was like, it's all right, but I wasn't really feeling it. So what I did is I did a rap to it, but W came back and heard it, and he was like, there's just something there. Then I was like, hold up a sec. Banky used to come to my house a lot then. I was just chill. It was Kraft that was working with me. So I told him to just come back the next day. So what I did was I took a verse that was already on a track. 2 verses that were already on a track that I did. That track was kind of old. And I put those verses on the track because I didn't have time to rap. I wasn't really feeling, like I said in the beginning of the show, motivation. I have to be inspired. I wasn't really inspired. So all I did is I just took those verses and I rapped those verses again. So on that verse, me and Terry the Rap Man, we had just come back from Singapore. Yeah, we had a show in Singapore. So we stopped by Ethiopia to get to Singapore. So that's when that that bar came to my head when I was at Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Myopia, yeah. When Addis Ababa, it's not Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So that line came to my head. And then at that time, we had Faiz Baba, Tu Baba. That was the most out of all the Babas, Tu Baba. Yeah. So when I was writing
Baba Frayo too.
Baba Frayo, Rogedi Baba. And my name is Baba Tunde. So I was thinking to myself that, man, the first thing that came to my head was that, if I drop this in, they'll say I'm dissing Two-Face.
Seriously?
Yeah, I thought, they'll say I'm dissing Two-Face. But Two-Face is my guy. No, you will understand. So I now did it. I just forgot about it. I just put it out. So when the song now came out, everybody, that time blogs were not that heavy, but there were some blogs, there were some interviews. There was Mode 9 this rocket, but it wasn't on my life. It wasn't
meant for him.
So some life plus juice on my
life.
It was not meant for him. That line wasn't meant for him. It was just, but a bunch of other things that I said on the track, I guess, because that was just my nature of just confrontational hip-hop. That's what I do.
Yeah, of course.
So everybody was like, it's a diss track. And I was like, it's not. If I dissed him, I would say I dissed him because I know, bar for bar, dude can't hang with me like 100%. Everybody knows that. And they know that when it comes to doing this thing.
Do you think he would feel...
He knew. Deep down he knew. Shout out to him, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Roger. I don't think Roger would agree. I don't think he would agree.
He won't agree if you ask him. If anybody asks him, of course, any rapper shouldn't agree.
Yeah, of course.
But deep down, when you're all alone in your room, you're looking at the mirror, you're like, yo, man. It's like me, like Eminem coming and saying, man, I have a problem with you. We're going to go back. I was just begging bros. I said, bros, I don't want it with you, man.
I get it.
You know that kind of thing. Yeah. I would tell him that, no. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of rappers, when they do act like they want to have beef, and then when they see you in public, they say, no, I ain't got no problem. If you ask them, do we have a problem? They'll be like, no. So that's just basically how it is. So it came out the wrong way. A lot of these journalists and co, they were pushing for it to be something. And he did a couple of, he did one song called Bangin', But I didn't see that as a full diss, right? I was like, okay, since he felt that I dissed him, let him have that. Let him just release that. No problem. I'm not going to say anything. What made me reply was when I did an interview in Punch newspaper. So the guy told me to buy the newspaper on Saturday. So I bought it. So my interview, then I looked over the other page, the page next to it. And Kunle Ayeni was writing for them at
Kunle
that time.
Ayeni.
He had a column called Soliloquy. And it was about me. And I think he got a picture of me that wasn't flattering at all. It was a picture from I was just coming down from the stage and I was trying to remove my T-shirt because it was wet. And I looked horrible. It was a horrible picture of me. I think he got it from one of Hip Hop World's thing or Ife or someone. Okay. Yeah, it was a terrible picture of me. I think I know that picture. I was like, please don't use it. I was telling them. So that's the picture he used in it. The whole thing was about me, man, and he finished me. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
And the next page,
were you cool with Ayeni?
I had no problems with Ayeni whatsoever.
Wow.
Zero problems with him. But he was kind of like the main guy that writes about artists. He's written some funny stuff about me, but I just looked at it like, he's just trying to, make his bones and everything. So but that one really hurt me. Then the article beside it, written by the same person, him, that was more direct. And, he was bigging up the other guy and making me look really bad. If I was not a Mode 9 fan, I was just a neutral guy and I read that, I would have been like, man, this Mode 9 guy is a punk. You understand? So that was what made me, not the reply, not the banging track. It was good. It was a good dance track, Like Rugged Man now, enough respect to Rugged Man. His music was okay, man. Like the Baraja song is a party starter. Yeah. Even now, if he performs it now, he can still get the party jumping. I had no problem with him whatsoever. I could guess our beef was not personal until he made it personal. Until he swore. He tried to curse me, My brother works at Vanguard, and my brother calls me one day and says, you have to flame this guy because I heard him say some stuff about you, and he doesn't even know that I work here.
Wow.
Yeah, because the entertainment writer then, was my brother's friend, and the guy told him. So when it became personal, that's when I did Death Blow. Now,
I remember Death Blow.
Even though I hate really talking about it, I hate taking it back. Like most of the time when people say talk about it, I never talk about it, I never performed the song. I stopped performing the song. After I felt that, man, it's over. When people say perform it, I say no, because I don't feel that way about it. So that was what made me do that. And what a lot of people don't know about Death Blow was that it was like twice as long as what you heard. And I said, go on. Where I stopped it around the middle, like 4 bars before the middle, because I could have gone on, but I stopped it and I put an ending to it, which was 4 bars, But the full rhyme, was more than 170 bars or something like that. It was very long because I was motivated to go for the throat.
Yeah.
So I wrote a whole lot of very personal stuff, but then as a strategist and somebody who reads the strategies of war, I decided not to put all my bones on the table. So I cut it into 2 and I was like, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this. And when he replies,
you just give another.
I give him the rest. But he didn't reply. Like all the other stuff that he was saying, I was just talking. Like I was like, he should reply on record. If he records his reply, then I drop mine. Immediately. But it didn't happen, man.
Wow.
Thank God it didn't happen because that's so much bad energy, so much wasted energy and waste. Like when you do, one thing about rappers, like when you do a diss song for someone, it's a Pyrrhic victory. Even if you win,
you get hurt.
Somebody's gonna get the Battle of Somme.
Yeah.
The Battle of Somme was a victory, but they lost more people.
Yeah.
They lost so many people that it seemed like it was a defeat.
Yeah.
So when you're dissing, going back and forth and back, doing that back and forth, it takes so much energy. See Tory Lanez, and they went back and forth. They just burnt themselves out. Now you see them doing tracks
Together. Yeah.
Like me, I don't function that way. If you call my name on a track and you diss me, I always say, this is no joke for me because I put so much on hold, my whole life on hold for this. I sacrificed so much for it. So if you call my name on a track for fun, trust me, you're my enemy for life. And I will aim to destroy you. And that will be there's nothing, even if you come and say sorry, like, we will not be friends if you call my name on a track. A lot of people be saying stuff and if you don't call my name and you say stuff.
But Rugged is not your enemy.
No, it's not, because he didn't call my name.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Just to be clear, because
he didn't call my name, so he didn't say my name, so he's not my enemy.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But there's some certain people, that's why I was talking about the clout. Some of this new generation guys. Some guys, was it 2018 last year? They did something for some shine. I'm not going to give them any shine. I'm not going to mention their names. They called my names and they called my name and they were just talking all scatty about me, man. I was like, I don't even know who these guys are. They just wanted it. They
want to reply.
They want to reply.
Yeah.
So one of my old friends, well, I can't say we're really friends like that, but someone I've known like long time ago that doesn't understand the game. This stupid guy was now sending me their video and I said, Moonlight, these people are sending for you. And I warned him. I said, listen, this is not your field. Just do what you do. And when you see anybody talking crap about me, just don't tell me. I don't want to know. It's not important. Is this something like for your cheap entertainment? You want some entertainment? Am I a clown? Am I on your court? Am I one of the jesters on your court? Like, why are you sending me this so I can do something and then you guys will sit down and eat popcorn on top of my head? So most likely, I'm not gonna go back and forth with any rapper again. Like after that one, you see, when you're involved in certain beefs, it takes a lot of energy out of you. You record the most remarkable stuff. After a while, you won't be able to perform it because maybe the beef is dead. You don't want to go back to the beef. Yeah. Like Nas can't perform Ether anymore. Yeah, it's gone. Jay-Z can't perform Super Ugly and the others Takeover. Yeah. It's gone because he's not beefing, and those are lovely tracks. And it went so personal, and I'm sure he'll sit down and say, damn, I wish I never did this, you know? Yeah. So after that, Death Blow era, I didn't want to engage anybody again because it's a waste of time and waste of energy. It's bad energy. Just use your energy to do something positive, Make yourself happy, drop some happy rhymes, man. Just make some albums where you make an album where you could revisit like 10 years later and perform every single track without having to say, oh man, I can't say this. I can't do that. That's just how it is.
And so when you get to those sort of moods, how do you get out of it? When you get into this negative
It's a very dark place, man. Trust me, yes, some people like me, when you force me to be in that evil mood, it brings out the best in me. Like I could write very fast, like the 170 something bars. I wrote that in less than 30 minutes. And I was just writing, not looking at not consulting anything, just writing, like it just coming out because it's pure emotions. But it's dark emotions. There's something that's called light emotion and there's dark emotions. Now, dark emotions bring out the best in you, but after that, after the calm, everything's going to be negative.
The residual is always negative.
The outcome is always negative after a while. There's nothing positive that comes out from it. But if you're inspired to do something like Cry was a true story, and I was really inspired when I heard the beat. Cobams made the beat. I think he's blind, and he made it without any assistance. He went in and he played the guitar, he played the keyboard, and then he said, hey, well, he just sampled everything himself.
He said like, that Ewo was Cobams?
That's Cobams' voice.
Wow.
He first did, don't you know? And I heard it, I was like, they'll think you sampled Ron Isley. Don't do that. And I was just saying, just say that. Ewo, did say Ewo.
What?
I told him to say that, and he just said it, and it blended. I was like, wow. When we made the beat, we didn't make the beat and record immediately. No. Like I told you, I get inspired. I was inspired by the beat. And then we're now thinking, who are we going to get to do the chorus? everybody's like, call this, call that, call this. We had an artist on our label then, and she was very underused. And they used to just talk about Nena.
Nena, yeah.
So I was like, Nena is going to do it. They were like, no. But you know what? I heard her sing, and she's fantastic. So I was just like, Nena's doing it. So she recorded the first time. When she recorded it, Cobhams wasn't around. TOD took the vocals. When Cobhams came back and he heard her chorus, he was like, no, I don't like it. Call her back. She has to do it again. So she did it again under Cobham's guidance, and boom, it was a go.
Wow.
So when I remember that day, Kevin came in, he was so excited. Obi Asika came to visit us that day. Shout out to Obi Asika.
Shout out to Obi, man.
Obi came, and Obi heard the song. Obi was like, this is going to be big. This is going to be big. I was going to, look, a day before I could have signed to Storm, I would have signed, a day before I could have signed question mark, I would have signed
to Storm.
Yeah, I would have signed that contract. Because
Obi wanted to sign you.
Check this out. Obi already liked our stuff, right? It was me and Elajo who were supposed to go to one show. So I think I went somewhere. I came back late and I didn't see Elajo. Elajo had already gone. And I was already tired. I was like, nah. I just slept. So the next day, I think Elajo came back and was like, man, I made the contact, Storm Records, blah, 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 blah. That's cool. Then me and Mike Magic went to question mark. Boom, that's how we got the question mark done. So I met Obi a few weeks after that, and he was like, Mode, man, I wanted to sign you, man.
Oh, man.
But it's all good. I was like, man, we can still do things. Like Obi was still a good friend of mine. Me and Elajo, we used to go hang out at Obi's place.
Obi's good people, man.
Yeah, we used to go hang out. That's how I met people like Ikechukwu, Nato C. Who did I meet there again? No, I'd already known Sasha. I'd known Sasha.
I'd known Dari as well.
Dari from Cool FM. Yeah.
From me, I knew Dari from Lag.
I didn't really know Dari, know him like that, but I knew LD and Sasha. I met Sasha at LD's place. The day that I think LD signed Sasha was the day I met Sasha.
Wow.
And I was like, you sound like Eve. She said, yes, she's my favorite artist. Yeah, man, there are a lot of stories you can go on.
I know.
And on. But
it's nostalgic.
One thing about this music, if you're not a young artist out there and you're listening, right, you have to respect. Because if you're young, you know the thing I don't like about young artists right now. Listen, all of us are gonna grow old. 20 years ago, we were the young guys, but we never dwelled on it these guys are old. These guys shouldn't. But the young artists right now, their mentality is, he's old. Kodak Black said, I don't like anybody older than me. Old head. You know, that mentality, you don't like anybody older than you, means that you didn't grow up with a father, no father figure. Tupac said he had no father figure. That the thugs in the corner were his popsies and his uncles, you know. That mentality, but Tupac channeled it into something positive. Yeah. A lot of these kids, I don't like anybody older than me. Your guys are old. That's old school. Anything old is not good. Yeah. They're forgetting one thing.
You will grow old
You're going to grow old. And maybe most of them have this mentality that I'm going to be young forever. I'm going to die young anyway. That is also another...
Yeah, I think what it is because of what's happened to them, they harbor this resentment for anyone who's above them.
Yeah.
So it's the dark feeling, that empty feeling. They're feeling it with that anger.
Yeah. Nas's this Nas album that just dropped. My favorite song. I've not got past that one song. No Bad Energy, please, no bad energy. I can relate to that song because sometimes you're around somebody and you're just getting bad energy, man. Instead of arguing with the person, just leave.
Yeah, true.
Most of these kids. Most of these kids online, some of them are not actually kids, though. Some of them are 35-year-old men, but their energy is just like children. They have this childish energy. Yeah. You know, I think you should say no childish energy, too. But they have this childish energy whereby they just say something childish to you, you know? Yeah. You're old, Joe. You've been in this game. A guy sent me a message to say, Baba, leave this rap thing for us. You don't want us to prosper. We just who are you going to pass your crown to? I said, which crown?
Oh my.
If you want to rap, am I still? Did I hold your hand? Did I padlock your mouth from rapping? He said, no, Baba. You know, say if you did rap, you did bust your tight lyrics. We could just try. People don't go on listen to us.
Can you imagine?
So that's the mentality.
So they'd rather pull
Yeah,
you down.
they'll pull you down and destroy you, destroy your legacy. It got to a stage that they didn't want to give us shows. Like, yeah, we've been doing this thing for a long time. We've never had bad shows, but still yet, the powers that be refused to give us shows. But when I did the BET Cypher,
Yeah.
everything changed. People started
That
calling.
was man. Your bars there were.
And I barely got on the Cypher. Shout out to Clarence Peters. And
Seriously?
Illbliss. Shout out to Illbliss and Clarence Peters, man.
You wouldn't have been on that
Yes,
cypher.
I wouldn't have been on it. They were the ones that pushed for me to be on the Cypher. Yeah, I wasn't going to be on it.
What?
So most of the rappers, you know, they didn't know that I was going to be on it. Yeah, I got that call from Joy Tongo. I just came back from UK. Then I spent like 9 months in UK. So I was back. I came back in March. I was not feeling too good. I wasn't happy. You know, you've been in UK for a long time, the weather, everything. I just went to Port Harcourt to go and hang with LD. So I was just chilling in Port Harcourt with a friend of mine, Latte. With Latte, I was in Latte's place. I just got that call from Joy Tongo. And she said, excuse me, would you like to be part of the BET Cypher? And I was like, of course. And she was asking like I was going to say no, I'm too busy. That's an opportunity of a life. Of course, yeah, I want to be in it. And then that's how it happened. And then when I got to Lagos, Clarence was now telling me some stuff like, oh, man, we just told them, man, that they should check Mode 9 out. And when they checked it out, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's put him up. So we did the Cypher thing, and everybody was like, oh, yeah. People, I remember watching that Cypher. When it was going to be on, I was in a friend of mine. I was in her house, and she had a couple of friends that I didn't even know. And then so we all started watching it. So there was this guy that was just talking. So when it came on, first person, second person, they saw me. The girls, they didn't even listen to what I did. They just saw me, and they were like, ah! So at the end of it, the guy was just said, man, that first guy, they rap. You try it, but that first guy, they rap. So all of a sudden, all the girls in the crib, they just started going to Twitter. And they're like, Mode 9, Don Jazzy just tweeted you. Said Mode 9 is a king, Sha. Immediately that guy heard Don Jazzy tweeted Mode 9 is a king, Sha.
He changed.
The guy just changed.
Oh my
Portuguese
goodness.
speed. You get rhymes.
Oh my.
So that's what I said. It's about the 85%. He is an 85%er. The 10%ers, they dropped the video and he couldn't think for himself. Now, one of the 10%ers now said Mode 9 is a king. Immediately he switched his tune and he was like, yes, he agreed. So now, if that guy had said Mode 9 is whack, he would agree. So that's just how it is, man.
Wow.
People can't think for themselves. They're all drones, androids. That before the Android term was known to be phones, like we used to call androids. Androids was like half human, half robots. So most of these guys are controlled. They have a battery in their back, and they just, you can actually wind them like all those toys. That's how they are, man. If you just put the battery in the back and wind them, they'll start doing whatever they need to do.
You do a lot of reading. Obviously, me, I know you well. So
yeah, I do.
What sort of books do you like to read?
One of my favorite guys is Robert Greene. Yes, that's one of my favorite. Like who introduced me to Robert Greene? I can't remember who, but the book it was 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. Now I didn't know who wrote it because the book that I had, I got it from I think I found it. I found it in my former crib. Some students were living in the crib and they moved out and they just left the book. I think it rained and the book was all shabby, so I just took it.
Was this in school or?
No, it was at home.
Okay.
The students were the LASU students, and they were in LASU. We were living in Okokomaiko then. Yeah. So I think so, yeah. I think they just left it. So I picked it up and I started reading it, and I found out, wow, this is interesting. You know, so I started reading. So I came across somebody who knew the book years later, because I knew the name of the book was 33 Strategies of War, but I wasn't really sure who wrote it. So I talked to this guy, and this guy said, oh, man, but there's another one. It's called 48 Laws of Power. And he gave it to me, and I started reading it. And there's one law. I only read it people might think that, Mo9 reads these books and he abides by the laws of these books. No, I don't. I just use it to counter people.
The arguments.
Yeah, who follow these. It's not even arguments. You don't even need to win by, you see, I'm actually using one of the laws of 48 Laws of Power. Yeah. You don't win by talking. You win by actions. Yeah. Sometimes.
No, I mean the arguments that's in their perspective.
Their perspective. Yeah. So, there used to be a CEO that we had, and obviously he was reading that book. He'll call you, come to the crib, come. So we'll go, and then he'll be inside the room, and he'll just be there. I used to think he was busy. Then we'll call him yeah, we're here now. He'll just say, yeah, wait. He'd be waiting. Maybe wait for 2-3 hours. But it wasn't just one. A lot of people were doing that. Have you noticed that whenever you go to an office to go get something signed or something, they'll just tell you to wait?
That's in Nigeria.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's some ego trip.
The book says, don't ever seem to be in a hurry, especially when you're holding the reins. Don't ever be in a hurry. Always let the person wait. There are several little things that a lot of bosses do, some intentionally make their chair very high, then the chair in front of them low. So no matter how tall you are, whenever you come into the office, sometimes they make the office oblong. Yeah. So that when you walk into the office, when you come to the office, you go in, the focus, you just see the guy sitting down at the end, and he just says, come on in. So he can size you up as you're coming to him. And then your chair is kind of low. His chair is high. He might be a short guy. His chair is high. So now it gives that illusion that he's looking down on you. So little things like that, a lot of things that, in life you just look at it, whatever, man. But trust me, a lot of people plan these things. Yeah. In Japan, business is war. That's what they say. Now, the Japanese are all about respect. That's why I say I liken these youth, most of them, not all of them. Some of them are 100% correct in their ways. I liken them to the doctrine, the theory of the ninjas and the samurais. A ninja uses tricks. There's no code. There's no Bushido code, nothing. He used tricks, he could use bombs, he could use this, he could scratch you in the eyes, but a samurai always follows the code. Respect and honor. If he messes up, he takes his own life. Harakiri. A ninja? Hell no. A ninja will fight you, will engage and run away.
A ninja is a trickster.
Good. A samurai will never do that. He will fight you honorably, and he will... If he loses, he loses. Sometimes if he loses and you don't kill him, he'll kill himself. Now, this is how it is. Most of these kids these days, they follow the ways of the ninja. There are no laws, no rules, nothing. They will insult you, just say the nastiest things, that's the ninja way. Before, we were all following the samurai way. But right now, it's free for all. These kids don't care. So if you get yourself, if you if you just stoop to their level and you try to engage, you're gonna get messed up. See what Tekashi 6ix9ine, he was actually baiting Kendrick Lamar at one point in time, but Kendrick is a clever guy because Kendrick probably has people around him, or maybe he himself reads all these books. And he knew that this guy was baiting him. He did a freestyle on a radio station. You know how Kendrick freestyle does these little raps. It was over a two-part beat, and he was killing it. And everybody's like, oh, that's dope, that's dope. Kendrick, Tekashi 6ix9ine went there and garbage. He probably thought that Kendrick would now, and then all of a sudden go, man, I got 30 packs on you. Test my gangster. This is that. You're messing with real guys that are not rappers. You know? I don't know why I keep on going back to this respect thing, because
no, it's because it's important. I get what you're saying.
Like the Japanese, like I was trying to make a point about the Japanese, about that respect.
Yes.
If a Japanese businessman gives you his card, and you just take his card and put it in your pocket, the deal is over. If you just take his card, if a businessman, Japanese businessman, gives you his card, you just take it from him and put it in your pocket, the deal is over. It's no deal. Do you know why?
Why?
A Japanese businessman gives you his card, you take it with two hands, and even if you don't read it, pretend to read it and put it in your pocket. That's the code. It's almost like a gentleman's code. You pretend to read it.
Yeah.
You need to know who you're trying to do business with.
Yeah, acknowledging him.
Yeah, you have to. And then why do you think that a lot of Japanese businessmen commit suicide when their companies go down? Because they still go by that code. They lose face. A Japanese guy will tell you, I've lost face. I do not wish to go on. These kids nowadays, they lose face. I go get another face.
Yeah, that's the problem. The rule now for these youngins is there are no rules.
There are no rules.
Which is a dangerous
now,
way to live.
As an OG, you should be aware of the fact that this is how these people are living.
Yeah.
They're not looking up to nobody. They are doing whatever the hell they want to do. They're like a wild bull in a china shop. Brah, 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 just breaking things. So you have to handle them with care. Don't try and threaten them, because when you threaten these guys, just like a snake. A snake, the reason why a snake will bite you is because it's more afraid of you than you are afraid of it. So it will definitely bite you, and that's how these most of these youngins are. I'm not, when I say all these youngins, everybody might say, why is it that you're always talking about these guys? Blah, 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 blah. It's not all of them. There are a lot of these young cats that I like. Like, why is it YBL, YMB, is it?
The
Cordair, yeah. They have so many weird names these days. I can't even.
Are there any in Niger that you like? Any?
Yeah, there's some young guys that
I don't really know any Niger.
There's some young guys,
rappers,
but I don't know if they're actually that young. But
okay.
They haven't probably been in the game as long as I have. Like, there's a guy called Paper. I've never met him, but I heard his stuff online. I've seen some videos.
What's his name?
Paper Corleone. He's
Paper
dope.
Corleone.
Yeah, he's really dope. And then this other guy, but he's not that young. But I've known him for a long time. But he's still on the come up. But he's one of the best all-rounders that I know when it comes to hip-hop. His name is Metronomy.
I know Metronomy. Yeah. Metronomy is dope.
Metronomy is dope.
And he's a cool guy as well.
Very cool, 100%.
Cool
I talk to Metronomy a lot. Like, we plan to do some work.
He's versatile. Very good.
Very versatile.
Very good
like,
guy.
any way you want to take it, Metronomy is there. He's kind of like Terry the Rap Man, you know? Any way where you want to take it, if you want to go, okay, let's go lyrical. Okay, let's go Pidgin English. Okay, let's go dance hall. Whatever you want to do, he's 100% in it. So I respect Metronomy. Yeah. 100%. Paper Corleone sounds really nice. That is a good MC. Of course, we have people like Boogie who are dope, super dope. We have Flo. For the girls, we have Flo. I don't know if Cyclone is.
Flo.
Yeah, Flo is great. She's good. At least she kind of reminds me of Rhapsody. She has that Rhapsody feel.
Is it?
Yeah. This crop of female MCs that don't bare skin, that don't look like strippers.
Yeah.
According to Jermaine Dupri. Like, a lot of people went in on Jermaine Dupri for saying that, but I don't fully disagree with him, because
that's the archetype of a female MC now.
I get bored. Like, you don't have to wear pants. My mother, one day, we were watching some music videos, and she just said, this one is wearing pants. You don't have to wear pants to rap. You don't have to do plastic surgery.
This
is rap.
What's her name? The ratchet girl.
Which one?
The American. The new Nicki Minaj. Now.
Oh, okay. Megan Thee Stallion.
Not that one.
She's not
the one that was a stripper.
Oh, okay. Cardi B.
Oh my god.
But you know one thing about Megan Thee Stallion, she does all that, this and that, but she has bars though. She can rap. But I feel that she doesn't need to do that. Anyway, in this era, she does. Let's not lie, she does.
The thing
She's
is,
getting it
like
right,
you
though.
said initially, is they're being channeled in that direction by the 10%.
Of course, the 10%ers.
Yeah.
But the difference is Nicki Minaj and that Megan, they can actually rap. Cardi B, until I see her do a live freestyle of Sway in the Morning or Funk Master Flex, then I'll agree that she's a rapper. But for now, she's an entertainer, making the money, getting that bag, which is cool. Like, I have nothing against that. Get your money, but please, let's try and get these young... Did you see that viral video of a guy dancing with his daughter? This girl... probably less than two years old.
No.
He was a black guy dancing with his daughter. She was mixed breed. And they were dancing, hey, having fun. And all of a sudden, she just started doing the stripper dances.
Oh, my
The guy just
goodness.
stopped. The guy just stopped. He was shocked. He just stopped and walked away. Because that is what these kids are exposed to.
Wow.
No parental guidance. Like,
That's the same thing
These
Jiff
children-
was saying when he was here. We were talking about, parenting and stuff, and he was saying
Yep.
the kind of content that in the music now, how obscene it is.
if you can put a child lock on your door,
Yeah.
in your car,
Ah.
why shouldn't you put a child lock on all the computers in the house and monitor what they're watching? But even if you do that, when you send them to school and they get in contact with children that their parents are just so free, like curse and everything. Like a friend of mine said his 2-year-old son came back from nursery and started cursing. He just started using bad words. He said, where are you hearing all this thing? And went to the school and he told them that some of the kids are using it and they said, sorry, we can't, we don't know, we don't think it's from here, blah, blah, blah. And they just made up all sorts of excuses. But where would it be when they don't use that type of language? It is the era we live in.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, the funny thing is a lot of people, educated people will argue and say, Munai, you need to evolve. The world is changing. This is how it is, man. Accept it. But the truth is, there's some people, a lot of people will not lie down and roll over for everything that tends to be the norm. Because a couple of years ago, all this was considered weird. The New World Order blurred the lines. A couple of years after the New World Order, the smoke cleared. And now there are no lines, no border lines. Do whatever. Behave they're quick to just say it's a hate crime, a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
If you say some certain things, it's a crime against humanity. But it's okay for police to take a black man and beat him up and shoot a black man, take off your camera and shoot him, and the next thing when the camera goes on,
Or
he's
shoot a
dead.
12-year-old girl.
There you go. Or wrestle or body slam or suplex a young child. It's okay to do that, but just to say some certain things can get you locked up. Do you know that if you say certain things, they can say it's slander,
Of
and you
course.
can go to jail
Of course.
just by saying things, and there's a witness and everything. Boom. But if you do, I've seen people do 1 million times things worse than that, like that's in authorities.
Yeah.
Do some crazy stuff and
I
then
know.
go scot-free. Did you see the video of a guy, I think a senator, he slapped in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
Slapped a girl.
That guy.
What do you think they would have done to him if it was in America?
He'll be ousted.
He'll
He'd
be
probably go to jail, yeah.
In Nigeria, no. In Nigeria, it's the norm now, right now, to do now the negative is now the positive.
Yep. See
People-
the Big Brother Nigeria now.
Oh my God. I stopped watching The only reason why I was watching Big Brother, I watched the one that them Chinedu, this is more than 10 years ago, them Chinedu and Gideon, because I knew Chinedu from Port Harcourt. So I just thought, every now and then, what's up with these guys?
Yeah.
But I realized even then when I used to watch it, that it takes too much time, too much. So I didn't used to sit down and watch. I used to just once in a while see the highlights,
Yeah.
But to just sit down there, some people were actually
a lot of people do that.
mind control.
A lot of
You
people
sit
do
down, watch people who are less intelligent than you
Oh, man.
do nothing but do some weird tasks and talk trash
As in
all day.
debauchery. As in lewd acts in Nigeria now.
And now, right now,
oh my,
do you know
it's
what? Let me
terrible.
tell you something. The way the human body, the human system works. If they tell you that the camera's here watching you, the first day you'll be on your P's and Q's. Second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, you just start behaving normally. Like, so what? So what? The camera, like, it's like being immune to something. You like that. So what? Yeah, whatever. These people are not catching themselves. Like, there's some, but in the early Big Brothers, right? The early ones. There's one guy. I think his name was Bayo. The one they did in South Africa, the Nigerian guy. His name was Bayo. Now, that Big Brother, Gaetano was one of the house members. Okay. I think he was from Tanzania. When they did that one, those housemates, they really tried because they wanted to behave a certain way, but they were very conscious of that. Cameras were all over the place. So they were actually, as I noticed some times when they were actually restraining themselves, catching themselves midway, like, oh, let me not behave like this. But now, they don't care. There's so many. How many Big Brothers have happened since then? So many. They know that it's their chance to just do something, be notorious for something, and probably get noticed and have a whole bunch of people saying, calling your name. And then when you leave the house, you might get an endorsement. If all goes well, you get an endorsement. But you only get an endorsement if you've done something like memorable in the house. Yep. So what memorable thing is there to do in the house?
It's crazy. Man. When you endorse foolishness, you breed fools, which is what's happening now. A lot of people do not read. They do not read. I keep stressing this thing each time I'm talking to someone on this show.
Like, okay, a friend of mine said, but I don't like reading now. I said, there's this thing called Audible.
Aha, exactly.
Download it. Audiobook. While you're going to work, put your earphones on, or if you're driving, just...
No, they rather groove to work.
There you go. You see, someone asked me some years ago, why is it that you make music we can't dance to? Now I asked the guy and his girlfriend, are you dancing now?
Aha.
When you wake up Monday morning, do you dance to work? When you get to work, do you dance all the time? Now listen, the music that they make is music from Friday evening to Saturday, Sunday, early hours of the morning. The music I make is probably from Monday to Friday afternoon. Please, which one is greater?
Now the Monday to Friday now.
You probably want to listen to that more. Like, are you going to be dancing at work? Yeah. There's so many vines, videos of all these girls want to do all these funny videos at work where their bosses catch them. I mean, look at how stupid they look. There was one, the girls were trying to back it up. The father just comes in and he just whoops, gives her a whooping. We're not saying that you shouldn't dance, but please go to the club and dance, you know? If you want to dance, go to the club or have a party or something. Don't be doing all that
nonsense.
It just makes you look like, imagine, you're okay, check this out. You're a bank manager, a young female, probably 32, and you're a bank manager. And then you just feel the need to, I'm feeling so happy, I just want to dance. And then you film yourself dancing. Do you know that you have just shot yourself? Career suicide. And then all of a sudden, after like 10 years, you want to do some political, stuff and everything.
And they bring it out.
And then they just bring that video of you dancing, whining your waist. Is this the person? I mean, come on, man. They've been doing this for years. Even when Obama was going for the president, they were bringing all sorts of the church that he went to, all sorts of funny things. But they didn't have enough on him.
Yeah.
But imagine if it's these days, all they have to do is to just search. They'll find something that you wrote on Twitter when you were 25.
And other related searches as well.
Yep.
Did you mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. In closing, what, in your opinion, are the characteristics of a good rapper or an MC? Because different people have their own,
It's very simple. First of all, you have to know who you are. Now, a lot of people say, good MC, an MC has to have bars, you have to spit lyrics. Yes, but if you grew up mainly in a house where everybody was just happy, dancing, you're experiencing the good life. You know, you're going to parties, you're going to the fair. You know, everything is sweet and rosy. A good MC would just take that and run with it, rap about that. He won't go and start rapping about something he doesn't know or doesn't do. You have to, and that is being true to yourself. True to the game is what people say, but no, you have to be true to yourself. It's easier for you. You won't be putting up a front. You won't be acting. You won't be winning no Oscars, nothing. You will just be yourself. That's the number one. If you want to be a good rapper, first thing you have to do is be yourself. Work on your vocab. Work on your lyrics and performance. Now, performance is something you can pick up, but if you can work on your lyrics by reading, the more you read, the more you listen, the more you experience, the better you'll be.
Yeah.
Don't go off the tangent by just trying to fly before you crawl. You have to do it bit by bit. When you start, because there's a lot of pressure on the youth now, young guys that want to get into rap, to be rich, to talk about money, money.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. If you're getting money, you can talk about it. But there's so many things you can talk about. Like there was a song back in the day, because I didn't do my homework. I mean, the guy clearly experienced that. That's what he was talking, and it sounded real.
How about even Criss Cross?
There you go. I missed the bus. And that's something I will never, ever, ever do again.
You get what I'm saying?
You have to just talk about what you're going through.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was talking about Basquiat paintings because that was the life. He started off being a thug.
Yep.
And that's what he was rapping about, Reasonable Doubt. Then after a while, people say, I'm not really feeling Jay-Z. I can't relate to you. Yes, you can't relate to Jay-Z because he's talking about the life he's doing. Jay-Z doesn't wear the big gold chain. Big gold chain, big gold chain. He doesn't wear that no more. He doesn't wear the baggy jeans, big gold chains. He is on his suits. He has his dreads now, and he's doing business with the NFL. He's doing big things now. Like, what do you expect Jay-Z to rap about? Stocks and bonds, and business, how to own your black ownership.
Yes.
That's what he'll be on, because that's what he's doing. So you have to be true to yourself. If you're not really experiencing it, if you never... I remember back in the days, I think I was talking to Iblis, it's been a while, it was like years ago, and he was telling me about a certain rapper. He said, I beg, that guy, he's still in New York, he's in Brooklyn.
Oh, God.
Person will never enter plane. He's in Brooklyn, no, don't mind him. If ask him where he is, in Boulevard. He said 24th Street, man, Saratoga Ave. Places that he has never been to. But you see, the good thing about hip-hop has given us a kind of like a view of places we've never been to. A lot of rappers have described those places, so a lot of guys want to put themselves in those. There's nothing like.
So we've got vicarious rappers.
Good, imaginary, but like, yes, good thing about hip hop is that you can drive rough and never crash. You can put yourself, you can do some imaginary rhymes, and imagine that. If you say, I imagine that I was this, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But saying that I am this when you are not that, you get home, look at the mirror before you sleep and say, what am I? I just lied. I'm a liar. You've been capping all day. Your whole career is a cap. When these guys like Tekashi 6ix9ine test my gangster talk, that's the most dangerous. He must have been so brave or so stupid that he must have really believed in these guys. I mean, that is the craziest thing I've heard in my life. Like, test my gangster talk. You go to strange places and have strange guys who are not even rappers run up on you, shoot at your boss.
That's mad.
Woof.
That's just...
Wow. I mean, to me, that's not being real.
No.
It's being stupid. Need to know. You need to be real.
Okay.
Be yourself. Like, Tekashi was just a good kid. He was a good kid, but he just needed to blow. And he was surrounded by OGs. He had OGs around him who kind of like took advantage of him. When I was listening to, stuff how they started everything. Yeah. It was the OGs, man.
So, know yourself, increase your vocab. Obviously, increase your vocab is by them reading now.
Reading, definitely.
It doesn't matter what type of things they read.
Newspapers, anything, just read. It'll make you a better person if you read.
Yeah.
Increase your vocab, read, and being yourself is the most important. See, LDO Tribesmen, they just like to party, and that's the kind of music they made, and that's how they blew. MOP, it was hard body all day. You see Conway and is it Benny the Butcher or whatever? They are hard body. They got signed to Rock Nation, I think, production deal. I mean, just be yourself. You can get like really far by just being yourself. Like if you're a fake person, sometimes it takes the average of 2 minutes for me to say, oh no, nah.
Yeah, not them.
pass.
Yeah, not them ones.
Yeah, one of those.
Nice man, nice man.
So,
But, Mode man, it's been fantastic having you.
We
And
got our
definitely you'll be seeing more of Mode here, man.
Definitely, we'll
But
talk about more
nice-
stuff.
Yeah, man. Nice having you. See you guys next week.